Okay, welcome everybody to the regular town board meeting of December 12th, 2023. Can you hear me? It doesn't sound like it's on. It's on. Okay. Okay. On the roll call.
Here.
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 Here. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we're going to start with a presentation from the Sanitation Commission. I don't know if Skip, you want to come up, or Don Brenner wants to come up. We received a request for an increase in the garbage hauler monthly rates. So I think the Sanitation Commission just met on December 6th. I received some paperwork on Friday, and they're very anxious to get it pushed through, but I know that there's some questions and things. So why don't we, Skip, if you want to just start with a presentation?
Yes, Mrs. Supervisor. The Sanitation Commission was asked to hold a public hearing at the request of the residential garbage haulers in November, based on the fact that they had received a significant increase in the tipping fees from Rockland Green, who were the county handler of solid waste. We had a public hearing on November 15th, and at that time they made Mr. Brenner and the sanitation men made a presentation. Quite frankly, we were not satisfied with their presentation at that time. We didn't feel that they had submitted enough data that we could come to a consensus on a reasonable recommendation to the board. At that, we adjourned and called for a second public hearing for December 5th, which is last week. I know it's rushed, but we were asked to, if we could move it along. So we had a second public hearing on the 5th, at which time they did submit additional data based on statistics for average household pickups. And based on those statistics, we felt we were able to at least come to a closer agreement on what would be, on whether their request was reasonable or not. So that's why we submitted that to the board. Of course, the decision is up to the town board as to the rates. They have essentially asked that the rate go from the current rate for 2024 would be $33.50, but because of the increase in the tipping fee, which went from $77 to $99.
That's per ton.
76 per ton.
76 to 99.
76 to 99, excuse me, yeah, which is a 30% increase. So they've asked for a rate of $38 a month rather than the $33.50, and for the next 2 years after that, 50 cents each year.
Yeah. So, I actually read the transcript.
Yes.
And what I found, anyone who knows Bill Beckman, when Bill Beckman says, because the simple math supports $3.35, just doing it very simple without the thinking, you have to, because he's a math guy. So my thing is that I just got all this information basically Friday afternoon. I didn't get the transcripts till today. And I think that and actually I saw some of the members of the Sanitation Commission asking for this information too, particularly Tom Sabetti was asking for actual number of units.
Yes.
And how many. And I know there was a lot of maybe 8,000. I think there's more specific information that's needed from my point of view for me to vote on this. At the end of the day, in July of 2022, they got a $2.50 raise. Then they got another 50 cent, another 50 cent. Now they're looking for 4.60. So basically, from July of 22 to January 24 would be an $8.10 raise per month. And I know, you say it's only $8.10. The last raise at $2.50, we got calls from seniors, we got calls from everybody. And I just think that the public has a right to kind of know what's happening and maybe voice some questions and opinions on it. So, I mean, I'm not prepared, I know. And look, I have full respect for the haulers. I know they do a great job. We don't get complaints about them. Overall, people are very pleased with the service that they get. So I have absolutely no problem with that. This is really just almost like a procedural. Let me get my head around it. Let me understand the numbers, especially in light of what Bill Beckman's saying, that he sees it substantiating closer to a 335
Yeah,
increase.
I understand. That was, and I believe he said that at the first hearing, based on what they had presented at that time. They came back with some further figures, but I realize this is a short notice to you, so.
Yeah, I did look at the other data. It's a little interesting. They did like an average number. They took 50 houses. They also took a time period during Thanksgiving. It's really kind of a selective, I think there's a broader way to look at this to get a better idea of what it was. I also found it interesting that in the transcript, one of the haulers repeatedly said, well, we looked at what Clarkstown and, Stony Point is paying. Well, 2 points I would note. I would like to get paid what George Homan gets paid, and I don't. So with all due respect, I'm not going to necessarily look to just what they're paying. I don't know what their process is. I don't know anything about it. But there's 2 other towns that we didn't even get the information from. So I just, again, I think they do a great job. I just am not comfortable voting on this.
Well,
on such short notice.
Yeah, we can only give, our opinion based on the statistics that they did give us. We do know that at the time they did point out, for instance, that we're I think we're the only town that does backdoor pickup where people don't have to put their garbage out, and there's some other factors involved there. But
right,
and
which again,
also the first,
which is not in here anywhere. I didn't see anything.
I know
those
they didn't put it in there,
mentioned.
but
again, I think from what I read in the comments, the raises that were given back in 22 and 23 were meant to take into consideration some of those factors, and that this raise was supposed to just deal with the increase in tipping fees.
it was just because of the tipping fee, correct?
Yeah. But I do have a series of questions that I don't want to necessarily put you on the spot or Don on the spot. I think, honestly, unless the board has any other plans, I would prefer to submit my questions in writing to Mr. Brenner and get the answers in writing. And the sooner I get it, the sooner this board, Does anybody have any questions?
The only question I have, was your meetings public meetings, published?
Yes, they were both advertised as required by law, and both open,
So
and
it did
that's why we had a
notice-
stenographer taking the full minutes for the meeting.
And it did notice the public that there was a discussion on increasing fees, or just
Oh, yeah,
that
no,
that
that-
was a
I
meeting?
Did
believe that
anybody,
was
out of curiosity, anyone show up?
Yeah, wasn't well attended, let me put it this way. There were a lot of gentlemen there, and I
It's
can't.
kind of like the
I
fire
didn't-
district.
We didn't
election,
ask for
yeah.
everybody who happened to be there, whether they were
Yeah.
the general public or whether they were representatives of the garbage haulers,
Okay.
I personally, I think I said in an email today, I think the whole structure needs to be relooked at. I think no one knows about the Sanitation Commission or their hearings or whatever. I think almost it should be a public hearing at this level, but that's my thoughts. Any questions? Don, you have something you want to say?
I would like to say something. I don't know if the town board got I sent you the entire report. I don't know if the town board got my.
The paperwork that you dropped off to me on Friday, they got, yes.
They got all the information?
Yeah, whatever you dropped me on Friday, they got, yep.
The critical thing is that the minute the Green informed the haulers that they were going to raise the prices to $99, we immediately went to the Sanitation Commission to get all this straightened out. What was said in the secondary meetings, the primary matter of fact, is that we met the criteria. The problem here is that as starting January 1st, the haulers will be charged $99 a ton, and they cannot get reimbursed for that tonnage for around 3 months. And it's kind of really unfair where they have to put out that kind of money and not get the reimbursement. And the only increase the differential is only because of the increase to the $99 a ton. So I know you see the numbers growing. They're only getting 50 cents, which is what approved in our contract, but the other increase is basically because of the $99 increase. And I think it's really kind of unfair to have the haulers have to pay all that upfront money. And it's a lot of money because they have a lot of people that are collecting solid waste from. And the fact about the other two towns, those are the two towns that collect that way. Ramapo, I think, has a municipal service, and Haverstraw has their own service. But the truth of the matter is, we're the only town that does backyard. We're the only town that gives reduction to senior citizens. We're the only town that turns around, and the complaints are zilch. They really do an excellent job, and I think it's unfair for them to be having to put out that kind of money.
But Don, I think it's unfair to ask us on literally a couple days' notice without being able to be comfortable with this number. And again, it's when I read the transcript, which I will share with the board members, I just got that this afternoon, that I started to even more question it. Because it's not, I mean, you see there's a couple people asking questions about it, and they say, pretty explicitly they were not comfortable with the actual dollar amount. But
I mean, for them to put out 3 months' worth of charges and not get reimbursed, that's a lot of money. There's a lot of people that they have to put out money for, and I think it's kind of unreasonable when they give such good service, and they really do. And they're the cheapest of. They're less than Stony Point. They're less than Clarkstown. And I know there are differentials, but the truth of the matter is, it's the same fee that comes to the landfill that these people have to pay.
Don, my suggestion is that we have a special town board meeting next week on Monday.
If we can get the information.
If we can get the information, but we'd have to notice the special meeting. Rob, what's the?
I think there's a time limit.
All right, we'll notice it. If we don't have, and in that time period, Teresa's going to submit questions that she's going to want answered.
Super. We'd appreciate that. We just.
Don, why didn't they start the process in September if it was an emergency by January?
Because they couldn't start, they could only start the process when Green indicated they were going to raise the rate. And the minute Green notified...
Wasn't that in February?
Green notified they were going to raise the rate in October, and then we called for the meeting as of January 1st.
All right.
We couldn't ask for an increase because until Green put their position on the table.
Let's just say 5:30 and let Brittany know.
Yes, it's in the information.
We're not voting.
No, it was not. That's the reason they wanted us to go back and get the additional information. Yeah.
yeah, so no, it was in the first package. Did I send you?
Not how they calculated it.
They did it's odd. They took like a sample number of houses and they took a sample weekend or week or something. I don't know. I think there's a better way to calculate, and apparently Bill Beckman did too, but I'll send you the question.
Okay,
we'll
we could
send
have
you a
that
letter
meeting.
with the information, and if we can get it, we'll have a special meeting.
We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Special, but what time? Do we want to say 5:30?
What day are we talking?
Monday, we're already going to be here.
We do. We're gonna be at my office.
You can still do it.
Do it at 5?
Do it at 5.
Okay. Okay, we're shooting for Monday at 5.
Monday at 5.
This Monday at 5?
Subject to
Yes.
All right,
getting
thank you.
everything I expect from you, Mr. Brenner.
And you're going to send out everything to Don?
I'm going to send him an email
All
with
right.
my list.
All right.
Okay, and I'll copy you, so you'll know what I have.
All right.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We're moving on. We have, tonight's a special night, special more, look at his kids laughing over there, look how cute they are. Tonight is Councilman Tom Divany's last night, last meeting as a town councilman. He still has a couple weeks to finish up, but it's his last night, so, you know, Tom and I don't always see eye to eye. I know people may have seen that. But I've always said, I think Tom, you know, is a hard worker and does what he thinks is right and is always looking out for the best interests of the town. And I know that he's going up to the county and he's going to, you know, do great things up there, probably cause a little headaches up there for people. But he's been here 14 years?
14 years.
14 years. And that's a long time for anybody to give to the town of Orangetown. I think as I look around there, there's only like Jim Dean over here, a couple that maybe have beat the 14 years. But so anyway, on behalf of the town, second. I have to present to you for your, a very nice plaque, which says, "In sincere appreciation for your 14 years of dedicated service and commitment to the people of the town of Orangetown. Best of luck in your new position."
Thank
There
you.
go. I'd like
Thank
to
you very
present this
much.
to you.
Thank you.
And as we know, behind every great man is a great woman. So we have something to give to his wife. Joy, come on up. Come on. I know what you put up with for 14 years.
Thought it would have been bigger.
Oh, sure. Where you want?
Yeah, come on down.
All right.
Tracy Rose will get out. And the rest of you guys will get your picture.
Okay.
Guys, Paul, get back up there, they're right.
Okay.
And now Teresa and Tom and Joy come over here.
I can dash it.
No, you're right.
Come on, Dennis, you come up here.
Told where to go.
Get them all up here, come on.
Go ahead, bud, get in the middle.
Thank you.
Dennis, you want to say anything?
Chance, Dennis.
Okay. Anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm going to say something
Okay.
quick. So, I had the pleasure of sitting next to Tom for the last 12
12
years,
years.
even though he's been here 14. And I'd like to think that I was here to keep Tom in check, but I think it was mutual. Because he, under his breath, told me to be quiet a few times, as many times as I told him that's enough. So I think it was pretty equal. Tom works really hard for the town. He always has. He always has the best interest of the town at heart. I think we had a mutual understanding about that. We always had the same end game. Sometimes we had a little different way of getting there, but we always worked it out. So it's been a pleasure working with Tom, and I'm going to miss him sitting here, to be honest with you.
Paul?
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I've had the pleasure of sitting on the other side and not sitting next to Tom. But we've become good friends over the last 8 years. We speak a lot, and again, I'm just going to repeat everything else. He does care. He works hard. He does care. I've learned a lot from him, and I appreciate all he's done for the town and for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
So, I'm going to say Tom was the first person I've met in Pearl River. When I closed on my house, he was our lawyer. So I've known Tom for going on 20 years. And when I put my name in the hat to run for office, it was a very interesting experience. Tom is intense, he cares, he's smart, and he fights for what he thinks is right. Now, we ran on the same ticket. It was odd that Joy would call me like once a week to apologize to me. Jeez, I hear you guys arguing on the phone once a week, and I just thought it was funny. So, but we're going to miss you, and you've done a lot of great things for the town, and I know you're going to do a lot of great things on the legislature. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you a lot. So,
Thank you,
in fact.
Okay, one last gift. Now, that's something you can hang on your wall. This is something that you can actually use.
All right. What do we got here? It's drinking cup. Let's say Newton's on it.
Oh, Town of Orangetown
Town of
logo.
Orangetown,
There you go. Very good. You good?
It's 14 years, and a lot of nice things said about me tonight. They're all true. I can't deny it. But I think starting with Dennis, and it was Dennis and Tom Moore, Jerry, Paul, Brian, who else was up here? Annie Stewart for 6 years. I think we had more supervisors than councilmen elected when I've been here. We've done a lot, a lot. We've dealt with RPC, the Chase Data Center. We did the Stop and Shop. We've done the soccer fields with OMM, and we've done the soccer fields with New York Football Club. You know, a lot of work got done, and we've never gone over the cap. We've 13 years of staying under the cap. You know, the first time out, I cut $1 million under the budget in about 5 days. Dennis didn't think I could get it done. You know, and this board, you know, back in May when Mayor Adams decided that he wanted to do what he wanted to do, you know, this board met on a Saturday and we came up with a strategy and we implemented it, and we're in court still. The only municipality that was able to successfully litigate this so far, and that's a testament to this board, to Rob Negrino, and to everyone that works here. We have great people that work here, the CSEA, the PBA. Everyone that works here and tries to do the best for the town. That's what I've always tried to do. And 14 years is enough. I'm going up to the county. I've told a couple people to go to hell already, so, you know, I think that's what they need up there. Thanks again.
Thanks.
It's going to be fun up there.
Okay, we're going to be watching, so make us proud. Okay.
Get some popcorn.
So we're going to workshop our agenda items real quick. Bye, Divinies. Okay, so we're going to workshop real quick. We have number 3 is a public hearing regarding heavy traffic on Gilbert Avenue, if I remember correctly, yes. And Middletown Road, right, so right. Taking it off of Middletown Road, right, onto. Right.
Has to do with the tonnage.
Okay. And that was, I guess, that come from the Traffic Advisory Board? Yeah, okay. So that's 4, that's 5, that's 6.
People are complaining.
Okay, number 7, we're going to resume the public hearing regarding the zone change regarding the hotel and standalone fitness center for the Pearl River campus. We see we have a screenshot up there. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 11 is extending the authorization for the outdoor dining and sidewalk cafe. So we talked about this. So what we're planning on doing is extending what we did under the emergency orders through October 31st to give us time to try and pass more permanent rules
options.
and then get the businesses in here to apply in time to keep it going. But we can't keep doing it under the emergency order. At some point, we have to make it legal.
I mean, I know New York City's doing the same thing right now.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of municipalities are doing the same thing, so. Number 12 is awarding a contract with regard to some, the building commissioning for the new town hall addition. I guess some of you might have got first peek at it tonight. We moved in late Friday or Friday afternoon. It's been a little hectic since trying to do work and move, but anyway. Number 13, approve an agreement for the West Publishing Group. This is for the legal research software.
That's for the town attorney. Yep.
Yeah, town attorney's office. Number 14, approve change fees and other charges. This is on the recommendation of the superintendent of highways, who is here if we have any questions. Number 15 is approve a highway department GIS fee increase. 16, award a contract to sidewalk saw cutting to position safe sidewalks. Number 17, this is for, I guess Jane can explain if we have any questions, but basically, we approved this already back in August, but I don't know, the town attorney's office saw it, and they want us to make an amendment to it. I don't really know what the details are, but when Denise Sullivan tells us we have to do it, we do what we're told. 18, approve budget reclassification. I don't know if you want to ask, this is Jeff's funny math. You want to just quickly tell him what you're doing? He explained it to me, but I...
Sure. I mean, there's no impact. We had a lot more costs associated with outside counsel, so it wasn't asking us to charge the risk. And our workers' comp was under budget, so we're moving some of the money to the risk account and reducing the workers' comp. But they're in the same fund, so there's no overall impact.
funny accountant stuff. That's what I call it. Okay. 19 is approved boiler and machinery insurance coverage. I know there was an email on it. I think everybody was okay with it. I know I was okay with it. 20 is lend assistance for the Tapan Fire Department. They're having a holiday drive-through event on December 16th from 4:30 to 7:30. So that's basically it. Guess we can.
Motion to open public. Do we
Motion
have
to-
a hearing? Do we have a hearing?
No, we can go, I guess,
Yeah, let's do the hearing.
Go to the
we
hearing
have,
first.
okay, we have
There's
two
a lot
hearings
of
in.
people here.
Okay, so we're going to jump real quick to the public hearings, because we have quite a few people to speak, so. If we go to Town Board Agenda, item number 3, open a public hearing on proposed local law amending. This has to do with, again, the heavy traffic on Old Middletown Road and Gilbert Road. Can I get a motion?
Moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do not believe anybody signed up for this. Okay. You want, Jim, you just want to say a couple words on it, and then?
Basically, the information was passed on to the Traffic Advisory Board because we have issues on Old Middletown Road. Old Middletown Road actually connects to South Middletown Road. If you're coming past ShopRite and you continue south after Central Avenue, that short piece is South Middletown. And then it makes a sharp turn and then goes down another block and then makes a left turn and goes into Jersey. And that's a no-through trucking. That is already restricted. What we have a problem with is when you go make that left turn, you go onto Old Middletown Road, and it makes almost a 90-degree
Yeah.
turn within 200 feet. Actually, the town in 2019 reviewed what we might be able to do there. Really didn't come up with a solution, and we haven't come up with money to get it done. But vehicles can do it. School buses can just about do it. Tractor trailers cannot do it. When they do it, they block off the oncoming traffic, whichever way they're going.
Right.
They're making a right turn or a left turn, they have to be in the opposite lane just to make that turn. And then as you go straight headed south, the sidewalks on the east side of the road, and there's some areas where the pavement is not much more than 22, 23 feet wide. So when you have two large vehicles going, it's really pretty tight. And then you come to the intersection with the traffic light at Veterans Memorial Drive, which when we just finished upgrading the traffic signals. We put the pedestrian safety in there because these large, long wheelbase trucks, when they make a left turn, they take out the whole
Yeah.
intersection. So that was part of the idea of doing that. And our counts show that in that section, we have anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000 cars, vehicles a day going through there, and about 100 of these long wheelbase trucks.
Wow.
So we've done the counts. What happens is they come down Middletown Road, they know they're not supposed to be on South Middletown, but they take that little sneak. But there is actually a county designated truck route that brings them down either to 304 or to South Main Street, and then connects with Gilbert Avenue to Veterans Memorial Drive. And that's the designated truck route. So they're just sneaking in places
Right.
where they shouldn't be. It's much more a residential street than a commercial street,
Yep.
for sure. So basically, that was the crux of it. The numbers are there. That's what Traffic Advisory Board based their recommendation on.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so nobody wants to speak on this issue? Okay, then
Motion to close.
we got a motion to close from Tom Divany.
Second.
Jerry Vitale, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay.
Lead agency.
Okay, lead agency, number 5. So, basically, resolve the town board declares itself lead agency in this matter. It's type 2 action. Motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then number 6, adopt the local law amending the town code with regard to making that section a no truck route. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's another public
Okay.
Another public hearing.
We have one more public hearing, we'll resume, and then we can go to the public. Okay, so can I get a motion to resume the public hearing regarding regarding the Pearl River campus?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so.
Good evening,
there you are.
Supervisor, members of the board.
Okay, go ahead.
Once again, Seth Mandelbaum of McCullough, Goldberger, and Stout on behalf of Pearl River Campus LLC. With me this evening, once again, is Jamie Schwartz, the president of the Hudson Valley iCampus. As you know, we were in front of you over the summer, in September, and then November was the beginning of the public hearing, which was adjourned to this evening for you to consider our responses to the comments from Rockland County Planning Department, which we submitted, and went over that with the town attorney, and we also submitted the fully AF at that time to respond to the county comments. I have the same presentation you've seen a few times, which we can run through quickly or not, whatever the board would like. Just to hit a couple of highlights, my client owns a 207-acre property in the light industrial district on North Middletown Road. The proposed zoning amendment would only apply to properties of 150 acres or more in the LI zone, would expand the permitted uses on such properties to allow hotels, not motels, just hotels, and the proposed contemplated hotel in this case, which would have to come back to you and the planning board for special permanent site plan, would be to repurpose the empty 140 building, so it would not be a new building. And then the other aspect is a standalone fitness center use, also would be a special permit use that again would have to come back to you for special permit and the planning board for site plan. So that's essentially the proposal. Happy to run through any of the slides or answer any questions.
Yeah, no, I just
the board
wanted,
may
so
have.
for purposes, I know the county had made comments.
Yes.
So so that we're all on the same page, you accepted one of their comments, I think it was number 5, and you, right, regarding what type of action it was?
Yeah, we submitted the fully AF.
Okay,
and
so
it
that was,
classified as a type 1 action in the draft.
Okay, so we don't have to override that one because we basically,
Correct.
Correct.
And our planner, Pat Cleary, provided the rationale for the other items,
Right.
1 through 4.
Right.
Why he believes as a professional planner, the proposed local law is appropriate and therefore supporting the requested override of those county comments.
okay. Well, I've seen the presentation and I've seen the comments, so I don't really, unless anybody else wants me to run through the slides again?
I think it's a good idea.
No? Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so nobody signed up. Nobody signed up for this, but does anyone want to speak? Just raise your hand. Okay, I don't see anybody want to speak.
Motion to
Okay,
close.
motion to close from Tom Divany. Second.
No second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, secret declaration. I guess this goes back to what we're talking about. Hard look at potential.
That's
Yeah,
it.
but we read- yeah, did
Yeah.
you see the birds
Just-
anything?
No, it's just that's in the number 10.
And the number 10. Oh, okay, okay, so, a neg deck, I guess we're just neg decking it, okay, so can I get a motion? Number
Moved.
9. Tom Divany, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, I think we have to go down, we have
The
to,
second page.
yeah, we have to do the motion override,
Well, motion passed first.
All right.
and then
As
the motion
amended?
override?
Well, motion, then we can override as part of it.
So motion to open it and then override? Okay,
Motion to pass.
All right.
okay. Can I get a motion to approve or pass, adopt? Okay, thank you. I was
Motion.
looking for the right word.
Paul?
Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Paul, and then Brian seconded. And now a motion to override comments 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Rockland County Department of Planning on the letter dated November 8, 2023.
We got to do this on roll call?
No, it's fine.
All right.
Okay. So, can I get a motion on that?
Mo-
Jerry Batari?
I'll second.
Brian Donahue? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And that is it.
And then, is that, okay, now we go back to vote on the adoption. Okay. Little confusing there, Mr. Magrino. Okay. Okay, so can I get a motion to adopt this local law?
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
I'll second. Sorry, I'll
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
A little confusing. Okay, I think
Let's go to
that
public portion.
concludes it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Happy holidays, Happy
Okay.
New Year, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to go back to open up the public portion, the public comment section. Can I get a motion to open the public comment?
Moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so just want to remind everybody, when you come up, there's a clock here, 3 minutes. Just please state your name and, where you're from in the, where you're from in the town, if you're in the town. First person we have is Pat Casey.
Pat Casey, Orangetown PBA President. I just wanted to come on behalf of all the members, past and present, and thank Tom Divney for always working with us and being a great supporter and friend. Even as early as this afternoon, Tom is one of our leading donors for our toy drive. Him and his wife Joy have really helped us with that endeavor over the past few years. But Tom, you've been nothing but a friend to a lot of us. You've been in a lot of hard spots where you always do what's right for the town, it's right for the officers, supporting the cops that work here in town as well as the ones that live in town. And we can't thank you enough, and we wish you all the best up at the county. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat. The next person we have is Diane Holland. Oh, he's there.
Good evening. My name is Diane Holland. I reside in West Nyack. I am a volunteer for New York Citizens Audit. I am not an official spokesperson. New York Citizens Audit is a 501c3 organization comprised of well over 2,000 Republicans, Democrats, and independents, all volunteers. We are here once again to discuss disturbing ongoing information obtained by the Freedom of Information Law. New York Citizens Audit research team uncovered alarming statistics from the obtained digital copies of the available New York State voter roll database. This was done for both the 2020 and the 2022 general elections. The findings were peer-reviewed and published in the Journal of Information Warfare, authored by Dr. Andrew Paquette, PhD. I will give you his abstract and his bio. Dr. Paquette has extensive knowledge in computer programming and algorithms. 3 independent cyber intelligence experts agreed that the research done was sound. There are 4 tenets of an election that must be adhered to ensure accuracy. 1, the voter rolls must be accurate. That's from the National Voter Registration Act of 1993. Are our New York State voter rolls accurate? No, there were over 5 million ineligible or uncertain registration violations found within the New York State voter roll database. 2, votes counted must be from eligible voters. U.S. Constitution 14th Amendment. Was this the case in the 2022 election? No, there were over 700,000, just in case we have written things down. Votes cast by ineligible or uncertain registrants. 3, the number of votes counted must be equal to the number of voters who voted. Did that occur in the 2022 general election? No. There were over 35,000 more votes counted than voters who voted in the New York State 2022 general election. No one knows who cast them. 4, the maximum allowable error rate for New York State election as written in the Help America Vote Act of 2002 is 1 in 125,000 ballots. That means in 2022, only 48 ballots should have been in error. There was over 700,000 errors in the 2022 general election. There is good news, however. This was an improvement. In the 2020 general election, there was 950,000, so we made an improvement. But there was only supposed to be 48. There are only 2 kinds of elections, accurate and invalid. Our voting system is broken. That is evident. My friends from Jamaica, Egypt, Guyana state that their countries have more stringent laws than we do in the United States.
Thank you. I'm going to have to stop you.
We are again asking for
I'm
you
sorry.
to sign the resolution that we gave you back in May. So
Thank
I'm
you.
handing it to you right now. article from Dr. Paquette is here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patty Pequing? Did I say that right?
Hello, how are you? Okay, I guess. Okay, my name is Patty Paquin. I'm from Orangetown. I'm a volunteer, and I'm not an official spokesperson for New York Citizens Audit. Going back to the Andrew Paquette report, his Board of Election data that he had done, they found that in New York State, the voter database is embedded with a mass algorithm controlling the assignment of the voter ID numbers. They call this steganography. It's otherwise known as hidden in plain sight. A summary of his report is provided to you today. This algorithm is blatantly illegal and considered a total loss of control and a data breach by the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. The general elections in New York State were not provably valid at that time of certification, as required by law. We have been told for years, when you see something, say something. And we have been seeing something for a few years now, and we're saying something, but our elected officials and our representatives have not been listening. Again, all the data from New York Citizens Audit are official records provided by the New York State Board of Election. It's not our data. They have dismissed or excused these findings. There have been campaigns launched against New York Citizens Audit that are not factually honest and used to intimidate both the researchers and the citizen volunteers. This speaks volumes and is very alarming in the United States that we're being intimidated. We are asking for you to sign the resolution for a complete end-to-end audit from registration through certification of the New York State 2022 general election. We request a mutually agreed upon external third-party bonding audit firm who possesses the adequate insurance and indemnification for the handling and protection of the personal identifying information of millions of New York citizens, New York State citizens. This should be done to determine the true error rate. We request an enactment of legislation defining a mutually agreed upon process by which an end-to-end audit would be triggered in any future elections. We request the enactment of legislation allowing for anonymous voter verification and tracking of the voter through open source royalty-free patent pending, which would include mechanisms to report and remedy errors. We request that these who participate in elections misconduct explicitly with regard to the state election law are held accountable with increased penalties to reflect the societal and generational harms inflicted by these crimes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Janine Bergen?
Hi, good evening. Janine Bergen, West Nyack. I'm a volunteer, not a spokesperson. Our elected officials are not standing up protecting our rights for free and fair elections. Because shockingly, we have addressed 40-plus elected officials in Rockland County with no response, none. Our local representatives are closest to their constituents and are supposed to be listening and responding to our concerns. The silence is deafening and extremely concerning. I ask you why? Everyone hearing this information should be shocked and outraged and want to look into it. However, the problem is, many we speak to know that there is something wrong, but feel powerless or feel it is impossible to fix. The general elections in New York State were not provably valid at the time of certification and is required by the law. For any lawyers here or listening, seems to be a violation of black letter law. New York Citizens Audit is not going away and growing larger day by day. Sorry, it's hard for me to stand. I have pain. Thankfully, 64-plus towns have acknowledged our concerns by signing on to the resolution without any hesitation. In addition, multiple states have been following the lead of New York Citizens Audit. Asking New York State to audit our election is no different than what private organizations, businesses, and banks, and even we do April 15th every year. We're not asking for you to just accept the findings from New York Citizens Audit. We are asking for New York State to do their own audit of their information, which we FOIA'd from them. We are asking for transparency in our voting systems to protect our right for free and fair elections. We are asking for voter rolls to be accurate. We're asking for you to be our representatives you are hired to be. Are we asking too much? I think not. We know what side of history the volunteers and New York citizens will be on. As our elected officials closest to us in our representative government, we are asking for your support by signing the resolution we gave you today and prior that addresses the above concerns. A response would be greatly appreciated, yay or nay. Thank you for your time. May God bless you all.
Thank you. The next person we have is Michael McLaughlin.
Good evening, Michael McLaughlin, 3 Hobbs Drive, Blauvelt. The topic of discussion tonight is the ongoing unlawful activity at 4 Hobbs Drive and the town's lack of action to protect its law-abiding citizens. Our neighborhood attorney was contacted by the deputy town attorney on October 19th regarding a noise violation summons to an owner at 4 Hobbs Drive on August 26th. The town was requesting eyewitness testimony and evidence. You should be familiar. I emailed you guys with details and as well as videos. It was the one with the bouncers in the driveway, and then they had spotters on both sides of Hobbs Drive. Within 24 hours of the deputy town attorney's request, we had 8 eyewitnesses lined up willing to testify, provide evidence. Each witness was interviewed, had subsequent calls, and face-to-face meetings with the deputy town attorney. We were also told to clear our schedules for a court date today, December 12th. We all complied. We were ready, we had the evidence. An Orangetown PD sergeant was there that night, along with several patrol officers. They were ready to testify if needed as well. To my shock, I was informed Thursday night the town had decided not to prosecute the case and instead adjourn the case in contemplation of dismissal. What this means is no court trial. If the individual doesn't have any other interactions in 6 months, everything is dismissed. It's perfect timing for the defendant. Their pool is closed for 6 months, and when their prime rental season starts again, they can go with a clear record. It's a complete surrender by the town and their obligation to protect its residents. The kicker here is before the 2023 November election, the town promised us the case would be vigorously prosecuted in justice court, rather than the town filing in Supreme Court as we requested for an injunction. Even more shocking than the town's failure to prosecute in justice court is our understanding that the defendant was acting pro se, which means they weren't going to court with an attorney. To my neighbors, I sincerely apologize. I was wrong. I trusted the town that promised to protect us. I previously asked you not to share our plight with the media because we were told the town had an ongoing investigation. And for those that want to sue the town for its neglect of duty, I have no right to stand in your way. The town bent over backwards to stop the Armani because it was national news. It was politically beneficial. The elections are over, and we as residents are on our own. Since this is a public meeting, and as a civic duty and a professional courtesy, I serve public notice to the town. Preserve all documentation regarding notes, meetings, and discussions pertaining to 4 Hobbs Drive in preparation for litigation.
Is there anybody else? Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing. Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so the public portion is now closed. I'm going to respond. And I'm going to start by saying I'm an attorney that's been practicing law for 33 years. And I did municipal law. These attorneys, especially under the new ethics rules, are under such strict scrutiny. I know the attorney, I know the facts, I know the right decision was made. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't appreciate threats. This town board has done nothing but try to address the situation. But we live in America, and there's no, I'm sorry. It was a noise ordinance. With all due respect, it was a noise ordinance. So we will continue to do what we need to do. No, you had your chance. You could have spoke. You didn't speak. We're going to continue to do what we can within the bounds of the law. And that's all we can do. So, anybody else? Okay. Okay, so we're going to continue the public meeting then. Okay. We're going to go to number 11, extend the authorization for the outdoor dining and sidewalk cafes to October 31st. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, I didn't call them what I say, what I really wanted to say. Okay. Number 12, award a contract for FST Technical Services. This has to do with the technical service related to the commissioning of the new building. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
13, approve agreement with West Publishing for a 12-month extension for the town attorney's office. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 14, approve changes, fees, and other charges pursuant to Town Code 27. This again is recommendation of the Superintendent of Highways. Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Number 15, again, recommendation of the Highway Superintendent to increase the department GIS fee to $20. Move. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 16, award the contract to Precision Safe Sidewalks. Again, this is upon Jim Dean's recommendation, Superintendent of Highways. Motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Number 17, amend the contract, add fire inspection module. I know this is, again, Jane, you have anything to say? I know it was approved. We already approved it, but there's some amendment. I know, what I was told is that the town attorney's office wanted the amendment or something. Does that make sense?
Yes, it was previously approved, and this is a module that's added onto our current software, which we developed through COVID. And they did not have the correct number of inspectors assigned to the new software.
Oh, okay.
So it had to be amended for
Okay.
the increase in the fee.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Now I got it.
based on the number of
A
inspectors.
number of inspectors.
Yep.
Okay, so it was a mistake. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, so can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Number 18, approve budget reclassifications. Motion? Jerry Batari, second. Paula, Tom Divini, all in favor?
All.
Approve the boiler and machinery insurance cover with travelers. Motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Number 20, lend assistance for the Volunteer Fire Association of Japan for their drive-through event on December 16th.
Motion.
Second? All in favor? How many does he get to do tonight? Three. Yeah, you're lucky he's leaving, otherwise he'd be down to like one. He let you say one.
Well, since Tom's leaving tonight, I'm going to read the whole thing. The audit for tonight consists of 3 warrants for a total of $1.2 million. Items of interest, number 4, Capasso, $90,000 for recycling. Number 10, DeNoyer Chevrolet, $93,000 for police vehicles. Number 13, Media Star, $78,000 for new town hall AV equipment. Number 16, Vanis Construction, $403,000 for new town hall GC services. Any questions on the audit?
Nope. Motion to accept the audit? Second? Second? Did someone second it?
I'll second.
All in favor? Executive session. I guess so.
Yeah. Motion to set a special town boarding meeting for
Monday at
December
5.
18th at 5 o'clock. To discuss the
Rate increase of
Rate increase in the
garbage carters.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Subject to getting everything we're supposed to get. Okay. Is there executive session?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What kind of issue is it? Personnel related, okay. So we are going to go into executive session. We're not going to be voting on anything when we come out. We do have a couple of adjournments in memory of. We have a Jeanette Bernardi, resident of Orangeburg, a Mother Love Parks employee, Christine Smith Bernardi, Leonard Lenny McGarvey, retired longtime DME employee, father of DME employee Kevin McGarvey Sr., and grandfather of DME employee Kevin McGarvey Jr., and Eileen Quinn, a resident of Nanuet. Okay, so motion to go into executive session?
Moved.
Tom Divney move, second?
Second.
Who seconded?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. And that's on a personal related matter.